Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me to another episode of This Week in Real Estate. Thank you for checking these out. We'll get right to it. It was a busy and warm week, and even with all the warmth, it looks like things are starting to pick up slightly in the listing department. Nothing blockbuster different, but Delaware County saw a slight uptick, and so they're up to 115 active listings as of today, with 157 pending. And Randolph County about the same pending as last week, about 45 or so, but the listings have come up, I wouldn't call it significantly, but we're in the 30s, so we have 30 active listings as of today. I really can't remember. I guess I can go back to all these videos and look the last 30 listing time that we had, but I don't recall it off the top of my head. So that's good. We're getting some homes listed out there, and they're still going quickly as normal. So, but we still, are in that deficit. So, on to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, a lot of good things this week, business and personal wise, if you will. So I think last week I mentioned I was going to record a podcast that has been recorded. That was my second time with her, and I think that's coming out here in a couple of weeks is what she told me. So I may post that later on if you kind of want to know the back end, if you will, of some real estate business things. So that was fun. And then we had the listing that I mentioned also. That one came up and is out on 800 South in Redkey. I'll throw a picture of this house up, and I mean, it's just simply an amazing property. So about 5 acres, totally gutted, basically renovated farmhouse. It's like 4,300 square foot, and the floors, the trim, the woodwork, it's just amazing inside. And then the outbuildings outside are great too. So that one going to make a nice big home for somebody, and that was just listed the other day. And then had some offers go out. So unfortunately it got beat out on one of our offers, and that kind of goes to show you, even if you're listening to the nightly news, the national news, or whatever, everybody's, every market's different. I understand that. And they say, hey, with the rise in rates, all this stuff is going to happen with supply and demand and stuff like that. We haven't seen the effect yet. Not saying we won't see it tomorrow or the next day, but we were the third offer in, and we were full price conventional offer, and somebody beat us in money and in terms. So the need for housing is still out there, obviously. So and then also wrote an offer going back and forth on a flip opportunity in Anderson. That one's been a little rough back and forth. We're not quite to agreement yet, and we've tried a few times, but I think we're there, but we don't count really anything until it's all signed off on. So hopefully, again, that will be kind of resolved today. Our auction, we have another auction. It's partly personal property, and we're auctioning off the property, the real estate, over in Ridgeville, and so that went active this week as well. A lot of good things in the auction, tools and scrap stuff, a couple pieces of lawn equipment, an older truck, stuff like that. So if you remember, again, go back to the previous video, but we were sweating it out, getting that cataloged on one of the hottest days last week, and so all that came into fruition, and now that has started as an online auction. Will run until next Wednesday. So if you go to Wagner Auction and realestate.com, it's on the auction side of things, and you can see that. And then again, the house is up for auction as well with a $60,000 minimum bid, and I think it's 1,600 or 1,700 square feet. It is set up as a 2-bedroom, and it's on an acre, has basically a 5-car garage. I put it in as a 3 because it's an easily 3 accessible, but it was like a 3-car garage added onto a 2-car garage, so you could fit 5 in there if you're working on project cars and stuff like that. And then that's out in the country in Ridgeville, about an acre or so. So that's up and going. And then what else did we get to this week? I guess on the personal side of things, Historic Farmland USA, we had our board meeting, and I'll put the call out there. We're planning, for the fall events and stuff. We need some volunteers for some events coming up, and that's just kind of being there and helping people, point people in the right direction and just being a presence. or some really light maintenance things around the building. Obviously, we're a volunteer organization, so there are those opportunities, and you can just reach out to me and I can tell you how to get plugged in. And then we also sell memberships with certain perks and things, and also contact me. I can fill you in about that stuff. And then we were lucky enough to get all the ball games in this week, and even though it was hot, so we ended the season last night. So Solomon's game, T-ball game, which T-ball players, they're all winners, and so we don't have a record per se. We'll just say we won all of them. But he finished up the other day, and then Lydia, they won the regular season in their league and lost the championship game last night. It was a pretty close game. I missed the last kind of portion of that because I had to go coach Abram's team, and we lost the regular season in wins and losses, but we came back and won the championship game last night in a pretty exciting fashion. So that was fun. Really proud of both teams. I know there's only two, so the championship game is just one game, but still, it was fun and exciting. We played the full, I didn't have a time limit. We played the full 6 innings, and yeah, it was fun to see all the boys do pretty well and grow this season, and sad to see the older boys grow out of it, and they're on to junior high next year, and then it's a 12 and under, so 12 and 11-year-olds. The 11-year-olds will be the 12-year-olds next year, and just hope to continue to see that type of growth. So, and then also over this past weekend was up at Quaker Haven Camp with Solomon, and took our nephew as well with Grandpa. And that was always a hoot, and it was great weather. It was really hot last week. The weekend weather was awesome, and then it got hot again this week, and that's where Abram is this week. So, but no, it was just a great little time. So, on to the bad. I already kind of mentioned it. We got beat out on a really strong offer, and that's where we are these days, and that's just unfortunately part of the game. And then I'll also mention the ugly part is that the heat wave kind of this week continued, and so it made for some sticky afternoon showings, walking around, or listening, taking photographs, things like that. So, but we're past that hopefully a little bit, and we'll move on. So, coming up today, I am just basically running around all day. So I'm so happy the gas is so cheap. But I'm looking at my sticky note because my desk is full of them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 appointments here before within the next couple hours, so I need to get this going. And so obviously staying busy there, and then looking for towards the week. There's a lot of different appointments scheduled. Have an appraisal, have a price opinion, showing schedule, things like that. Just kind of normal, and kind of that normal busy summer, which the office gets a little messy. I got stuff everywhere just because I'm running around a little bit more, but that seems a bit normal, if you will, for this time of year for me. And then also next week I'm playing single dad, as Rachel is up at her camp counseling at Quaker Haven for next week. So always makes for a harried week, if you will. It's kind of good that the baseball kind of ended this week, so we're not running around as much in the evening. I'm looking at my calendar, and we still are a little bit, but it's not as much. So that was it. It's a little longer video than normal, so I appreciate you hanging in there and tuning in. If you got any questions or comments, please leave those below. I see those and I respond to those. So once again, appreciate you tuning in, and so until next time, I'll see you.